Let's be honest with each other. This depth chart has changed a good bit over the last couple of weeks since the addition of the 2025 draft class. So I thought it'd be fun to look at it and what we've got going into training camp and see all the surprises that is the Green Bay Packers' new and updated depth chart. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Joey Petersen. You are watching the Packers Report. So happy that you are here. I'm going to start us off with a challenge, okay? And it's not a challenge from me. It's a challenge from our Bears Now host, one Mr. Harrison Graham. He was talking some mad smack, something about, the new pope being from Chicago, something like that. And he said he bet we can't get 300 likes on today's video. Is that not ridiculous? I need you guys to do me a solid and prove him wrong by hitting that thumbs up button, show him who the true fans are in the NFC North. Let's start with the quarterback, shall we? This one is the easiest to talk about. You got Jordan Love, your QB1, Malik Willis at your QB2, and then Sean Clifford in that quarterback 3 spot. And I'm just going to be candid. I'm really excited for Jordan Love's 2025 season, okay? I was really excited for 2024 after he ended 2023 in the way that he did, but we never seemed to get a fully healthy Jordan Love, like at all, from game one against the Philadelphia Eagles for the entirety of the season. It felt like he was always battling something. And sometimes that's just a part of football. But it felt a little more last year than in any years past. And so I'm so excited for him to not only have a year where he's fully healthy from the jump and hopefully long into the season, but he's also got some brand new weapons with Mr. Matthew Golden, Mr. Savion Williams. Of course, not necessarily a new weapon, but running back Josh Jacobs. And that's where we go next. Let's talk about this running back room. MarShawn Lloyd is your RB2. Emanuel Wilson is your RB3. And then Amar Johnson, the undrafted free agent from South Dakota State. And then you got White in the third running back backup spot. I'm really excited for a healthy MarShawn Lloyd. I think of the very few things we got to see from him this past season, last year, before all the injuries kicked in, I think everything we just got excited for kind of fell flat because 2024 was a very interesting year for him. Training camp, the hip injury, right? That sidelined him for a lot of it. Preseason, the hamstring injury. Week 1, sprained his ankle. 3 different injuries within like 2.5 months of each other. Then he was working his way to get back in the lineup. And then week 10, appendicitis hit. And so it's like, we still don't really know what he could be like in the National Football League. At least not for sure. But regardless, I'm excited to see him fully healthy, knock on wood, for the majority of this 2024 season, backing up a guy like Josh Jacobs. Be honest for me. Which position group are you most confident in? Is it the running back room? Maybe it's something on the defense. Maybe now, after the additions in the draft, it's the wide receiver room. You let me know in the comment section down below. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's YouTube video. Just go down to the comment section. You'll see it right there at the top, and let me know your answer. Let's go to the wide receiver room now, the aforementioned wide receiver room. And at the time of this recording, Romeo Doubs is still on this roster. Now, we've talked a lot over the past week about some trade rumors for him and that he might be moving on to Pittsburgh as they try to replace Mr. George Pickens. Well, as of today's recording, like I said, he's still on the roster. And then you got Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed. When Christian Watson gets back fully healthy in like week 12 or so, I think this unit's going to take a whole nother step up. So excited to see the chess piece that is Savion Williams. I would expect some sort of shift here, though, because it's a really big room right now with a lot of talent. I mean, think about it. You added Mecole Hardman like 2 months ago, and he might not even make the roster. And so I would not be surprised if some team that really needs wide receivers offers you something for one of your young guys. And I think of all of those guys on that roster, they're not going to move on from Golden. They're not going to move on from Williams. I don't think they're going to move on from Reed. Watson, they probably can't because of the ACL. So you're kind of looking at Romeo Doubs and Tavian Wicks as 2 guys that might be on the move. Regardless of what happens, though, I'm fired up for Golden and Williams. I'm so excited to see the ways that Matt LaFleur uses those 2. And they're each, own unique styles. They're such 2 different wide receivers. Although they're both incredibly fast, they both have awesome speed, they're going to be used very different ways, and I'm pumped to see them out there on the field. Let's go to the tight end room. Probably the most underrated player on this offense. Of course, we're talking about Tucker Kraft at the tight end one spot, then Luke Musgraves, Ben Sims, and John Fitzpatrick, of course, backing them up, as is Mosiah Swinson and Johnny Lumpkin. And when I say most underrated player, I mean it, because do you think anybody in the National Football League that follows the National Football League know that Tucker Kraft put up an easy 707 this past year on 50 catches and 7 touchdowns? Producer Tex is shaking his head no right now, and he works for this company. We cover the NFL every single day. This dude's incredibly underrated, and I just think with this team getting more weapons, like a Matthew Golden, like a Savion Williams, that's only going to let him shine more. Let's talk about the big boys up front. Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elston Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom. Those are your starters as of right now. Then you got Anthony Belton, Kadeem Telfort, John Williams, Tyler Cooper, J.J. Lupe, Jacob Monk, Trey Hill, Jordan Morgan, Donovan Jennings, and Marquise Hayes, of course, at the backup spots. And honestly, when you look at it over the last offseason, it felt like Green Bay went all in. Not in an all-in on the offensive line like a Jerry Jones all-in where it's like a fake thing, but like they signed Aaron Banks, paid him a lot of money, more than they should have in my opinion, and then they also drafted Anthony Belton in the second round, kind of out of nowhere. We all knew that they were interested in Anthony Belton, but I think every single one of us would be lying if they weren't surprised, if they said they weren't surprised with that selection. And so it feels like they're trying to beef up the offensive line a little bit and just help this offense out in general. Give a guy like Jordan Love a little bit more time to get the ball to those weapons. Coming up, we're going to go on to the defense. We just talked offense, all of the changes to that depth chart, all the new looks, everything about it. We're about to go on to the defensive side of the football and do the exact same. But I need you to let me know, are you excited about that offense? We just talked about it. We talked about the additions. We talked about the guys coming back. I think it's going to be a really, really good group. And if you agree and if you're pumped up about it, show me by hitting that thumbs up button on today's video. Let's go to the front four. As you know, it is a base 4-3 defense or base 4-2, whatever. Rashan Gary at the left defensive end spot. Kenny Clark at the nose tackle. Devonte Wyatt, defensive tackle. Lucas Van Ness, the former really, really highly sought-out prospect out of Iowa, at the right defensive end spot. This group's got a lot of backups. I'm not going to name them all. You got Barryn Sorrell, Karl Brooks, Colby Wooden, Kingsley Enagbari, Colin Oliver, James Ester, Warren Brinson, and Brenton Cox Jr. I think those are the ones that are most likely to make this roster. And I'm not going to lie, I need some step up in this group. Plain and simple. I need somebody to make a move. I need somebody to bring some pressure. This group cannot just perform how they did last year again. Something needs to change. They added Barryn Sorrell. They added Warren Brinson on the interior. They added Colin Oliver on the outside as well. Like, you added some pieces. I hope that brings something. Because the truth of the matter, while they had a ton of sacks, and sacks are a great thing, pause. They failed bringing consistent pressure. Their pass rush win rate was bad, bottom 7, 35%. Quarterback pressures was fine, still bottom half of the league at 210. Quarterback pressure rate was fine, still bottom 13 in the league at 32.3%. I need to see a jump up in every single one of those statistics because that's what needs to change on the defensive side of the ball. Let's go to the linebacker room. Okay, you got Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper as your starting linebackers. Edgerrin Cooper, obviously, the Mike linebacker. Then you got both the Isaiahs backing up the weak side. Isaiah McDuffie, Isaiah Simmons, and then Hopper and Welch backing up in that middle spot next to Edgerrin Cooper. Watch out for a Quay Walker extension. I'm just going to say that over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, they didn't pick up his fifth-year option. I won't say next couple of weeks. I'll say next couple of months. They didn't pick up the fifth-year option for Quay Walker, and so that doesn't tell me that they don't want him on this team. That just tells me they want him on this team long-term, and that I think they're going to extend him. Speaking of that extension, be Brian Gutekunst for me. How much would you pay Quay Walker? How much would you pay Quay? Let me know in the comment section down below by typing your answer. Be the GM and let me know. Now we go to the cornerback room, and as of right now, obviously, Jair Alexander is still on this roster. Hopefully, from the time we're recording this to the time you're watching it, he'll have a new restructured deal. Because, plain and simple, when you look at the people you got in that room, Jair makes the room better. If you would have cut Jair, if you would have traded Jair, the room would have gotten worse. And I know that's kind of an elementary way to look at football and an elementary way to cover this sport and this team. But when you take when you take the good players away, you get worse. Especially when you don't necessarily address that in the draft. And when they didn't, that kind of should have clued into us, you know what? They probably want to keep him. Let's go to the safety room now. We start with Xavier McKinney, a guy who was phenomenal last season, and Evan Williams in the free safety room. And then, of course, you got Zane Anderson, Katan Oladapo, Javon Bullard, and Omar Brown backing them up. And I'm not going to lie to you as well. This group I'm so excited about, and this group I've got a ton of confidence in because that man at the strong safety role, Xavier McKinney. What a pleasant surprise in 2024. Played all 17 games, had 88 tackles, 11 pass breakups, 8 interceptions, had a coverage grade of 90. The earth is covered 70% by water. The other 30% is Xavier McKinney, ladies and gentlemen. He was phenomenal. Can't wait to see him lace it up in the green and gold again. And then you know what? Special teams people are people too. We got Daniel Whalen at the punter, Brandon McManus as the kicker. He got the new extension this offseason. Matt Orzek, the long snapper. As of right now, McCall Hardman is your punt returner and kick returner, but we'll have to wait to see if he makes the roster or not. Make sure you guys subscribe. Okay, we're covering the Packers every single day over the next couple of months. Lock us in today by hitting that sub button. And you know what? We're going to have a lot of really great content coming up in just a little bit. Before we get on out of here, make sure you guys grade the roster for me, okay? A, B, C, D, or F down below. How do you feel about it? Let me know right now. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? I'm trying to beat Bears now all the time, not just in likes, but subs too. So help me out. Subscribe.